Hello and welcome to this week's programme of Future Proof. Thank you very much for joining me, Sarah Hopwood, as I continue actually on from the last programme when I was looking at the merits of dance and exercise and how it can help us future proof. Our health is just so important to us, and I've got another dancer with me, and this time it's Carola. I'll let her say her name properly because I don't think I've quite got it right, and she's going to give us her surname too. But last week you would have heard me interview Colin Ten and we talked about jive, and Carola runs Brighton Dance and Brighton Tango School, which obviously can be found in Brighton. So we're going to hear about that. We're going to be hearing how we met, and some of that will cover ground from last week, but also we'll be talking about the future of dance, the future of her business, as indeed we embrace artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all that goes with it. So that I hope that you enjoy the programme. Thank you so much for joining me. I know I didn't quite say your name properly.
It's Carola Pereira.
Yeah, well, and so where are you from?
So I'm from Germany and married to a Portuguese, living in Brighton.
Right, and how long have you been in Brighton?
It will be 29 years this year.
Yes. Now, we met, and no one can really remember how long ago it was.
3 years.
Whether it was 2014, 2015, I'm thinking something around there.
Yeah.
And we met, as indeed I did meet Colin, through the summer ball, the midsummer ball held at the Hilton Hotel.
Yeah.
And we were raising funds for Rocking Horse, the children's charity, and Hilton in the community.
Yes.
Can you tell me, what was your role in all of that? Because you didn't just teach, did you?
No, I didn't just teach. I was in charge of the entertainment, and we raised money through a dance competition. So local business people, celebrity, were taking part. We taught them, so I had a team. So I had my own team, and then I invited, for example, Colin, when we have the rock and roll where you'd taken part. And so everybody, I sort of was in charge of the music for the evening, that all went
So how did you get involved? Who approached you?
I was teaching my class at Rock School of Dancing, and the mother of the principal was working in the Hilton. And when this came up, she mentioned me. I've been contacted by the Hilton, and then been asked if I would do the Strictly Come Dancing theme. And then the year after, I was in the committee, and just moved on from there.
So I have to say, it's if it was a Muttley moment, it's a moment, because you and your partner won on the evening that I danced.
Yes, we did.
But it was one of the years we had Zoe Ball on that panel for 2 years. What was it like working with her?
She's really lovely. I've met her before because she was also dancing in Strictly Come Dancing. So they trained at Rock School of Dancing. So we have passed each other quite a few times. She's really, really lovely, really approachable. And very good.
I have to say she was lovely to me because on the panel there was a Craig Greville Horwood character. We won't say who it was, but they were given specific instructions to criticise, and so when I had the judges' comments, I had one of those comments, and it was around about my feet, and I was told my feet were a mess, which indeed I'm sure they were. But Zoe, right at the end, once all the announcements were made, caught my eye and pointed to my feet, and then she gave me the big thumbs up. It's almost to counter the negative comment, which was
but you did very well. You did very well.
You.
So yeah.
So,
no, you did.
I'll take that. But I've said it is on video on YouTube.
I remember the jump you did when Colin lifted you. That was.
It's funny you should mention that, because he mentioned that in his interview, and he said it was the best jump that we ever did, but he said it wasn't so much associated with lifting my weight, because I feel bad knowing he had a triple heart bypass. I felt bad, and he said no, it was timing.
Yes.
When the timing is right in dance, then actually he said all I did was actually support what you were doing. So it just kind of worked.
It's a lot of technique involved. So
talk to us about your career then. What have you been up to?
Oh, So I've been trained in Germany for 3 years. It was a full-time training. I got in, with me, I did dance before. I stopped, and by circumstances, I been asked if I wanted to do competition dancing with somebody who was in this training school, and I said, well, I could only do it for a year, and then I would be going to further education. I wouldn't be able to. And he said, well, why don't you become a dance teacher? And that was the moment. That was a Friday evening, and by Saturday morning, I told my parents I would like to be a dance teacher, and I've never looked back. And that's now, including my training, 35 years.
What comes to mind there is sometimes we don't feel we're being seen, and I think in that moment somebody saw something and commented. Also, sometimes we see things and we don't always comment and say to people. So not only did he think of you being a dance teacher, he actually spoke to you and told you. Some people actually don't get to the telling, and that changed your life.
It did. It absolutely did. And and it was never a question. Sometimes that was never in my mind. So. And I was so sure about it. It was quite something.
Yeah, you just knew. It's like a light bulb moment. Well, I have to say it's worked, because I think with the Midsummer Ball you won 3 times.
I did.
3 times! I mean, seriously. With different partners. Because you were obviously the professional, and then you took on different partners, which was fantastic. So what do you think the future looks like? We are going to be going into the break quite soon, but I've mentioned in a previous programme, they say that sitting is the new smoking. The dangers, the health warnings given to smoking are very in line with the health warnings given to sitting, from computers to watching television, all this internet stuff that we have. It's not just adults, it's children as well, are sitting for far too long. Do you work with kids?
No, I don't work with kids, just adults.
Yeah. And so is that, anybody over the age of 18?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So from 18 up to my oldest student is 84.
Fantastic. So I was just looking if we have time, and we do have time. Can you tell us, if somebody is interested, and we're going to be hearing more from you after the break, but if somebody is interested in finding you, how do they find you?
I've got a website, brightondancing.com, or brightontango.com.
Okay, so it's tango and all dances.
Yeah, I teach ballroom, Latin American, salsa, Argentine tango. And I also teach fitness. I've got a fitness class, and
very good.
So you can find me on that website.
Paul and I learnt ballroom dancing as we were dating, and when we did an 18 to 30s honeymoon trip in Greece. That was our honeymoon, and they had a ballroom dancing competition which we entered, and we won it.
Oh, well done.
Don't ask me how. And I was saying in a previous programme, Paul was very much the better dancer than me. He really learnt the structure, and his memory recall was amazing. So it's very good for cognitive thinking as well as the physical exercise. Mm-hmm. So do stay with me, and we'll come back after the break. And as I say, if you're interested in finding out any more about getting up off your bottom, getting out dancing, and it is for all abilities.
Yes, it is.
Then please do search Carola on the website, look up Brighton Dance, Brighton Tango, and pop along and say hello, or pick up the phone, or even send an email maybe if you just want to have that early introduction. But I think the best way is maybe grab a friend and say, look, come on. That's how Paul and I did it. Let's both go together.
Yeah, no, but even singles is absolutely fine.
Fantastic. Yeah. All right, well, stay with me. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, very good. So I think
it's Brighton Dancing.
EQ, emotional quotient, is better known as emotional intelligence. It is a tangible tool that can sit alongside your services or your product, and it can be taught. Leaders with high EQ have less stress, they're more effective, and they earn more money. There's a great saying, just because we have pains, it does not give us permission to be a pain. I believe that teaching emotional intelligence has a direct impact on your sense of success and your net profits. EQ will empower you and your workforce to drive the change that you want. Change brings transition. EQ can help unpack what's holding you back and speed up that period of transition.